The rain pounded against the windows of the old Victorian house in suburban Chicago as I stood in the doorway, my heart racing like a freight train. Sarah, my best friend since high school, was crumpled on the floor, sobbing over the news that her father had just been diagnosed with terminal cancer. Without thinking, I knelt beside her, pulled her into my arms, and whispered the words I'd buried for years. "I love you, Sarah. Not just as a friend." Sarah's eyes widened in shock, her tears momentarily forgotten as she pulled back, staring at me like I'd just confessed to a crime. The room felt smaller, the air thicker as silence stretched between us. I, Emily Thompson, a 28-year-old graphic designer living in the bustling heart of the Windy City, had always prided myself on my composure. But in that moment, with the weight of my secret finally off my chest, I realized I'd just ignited a fire that could consume everything we held dear. Sarah wiped her face, her voice barely above a whisper. "Emily, what are you saying? This can't be happening right now." Her family was the epitome of Midwestern conservatism: church every Sunday, backyard barbecues with neighbors who voted red, and a mother who still clipped coupons from the local paper. Sarah was engaged to Mark, a steady accountant who'd proposed last Christmas with her parents' blessing. I'd been there for all of it, smiling through the engagement party, helping pick out the dress, all while nursing this unspoken ache in my chest. How had it come to this? We'd met in sophomore year at Lincoln High, bonding over shared art classes and late-night study sessions. Sarah was the outgoing one, with her infectious laugh and effortless charm, while I was the quiet observer, sketching portraits of her when she wasn't looking. Over the years our friendship deepened: movie marathons, road trips to Lake Michigan, confidences shared under starry skies. But lately, as her wedding approached, the platonic lines blurred for me. I'd catch myself staring at her lips when she talked, feeling a jolt when our hands brushed. I told myself it was just a phase, a crush born from proximity. But deep down I knew it was more. That night, with her father's diagnosis hanging over us like a storm cloud, my resolve cracked. I didn't mean to blurt it out like this. I stammered, my face burning. "But seeing you hurt, I can't hide it anymore. I've loved you for so long." Sarah stood up abruptly, pacing the room. "Emily, you're my best friend. My maid of honor. How could you?" Her words trailed off, replaced by a mix of confusion and something I couldn't quite read: anger? Fear? She grabbed her phone, dialing Mark before I could stop her. "I need you here," she said into the receiver, her voice shaky. Mark arrived within minutes, his car screeching into the driveway. He was the picture of reliability, tall with kind eyes and a gentle demeanor. As Sarah explained what happened, his face hardened. "Emily, is this true?" he asked, his tone measured but edged with disbelief. I nodded, unable to meet his gaze. The three of us sat in the living room, the tension palpable. Sarah's mother, Mrs. Hargrove, was upstairs with her husband, oblivious to the drama unfolding below. "This changes everything," Mark said finally. "Sarah, we need to talk about this. Alone." I left that night feeling like I'd been gutted, the rain soaking me to the bone as I drove back to my apartment in Wrigleyville. Sleep evaded me, my mind replaying the scene over and over. Had I ruined our friendship? Destroyed her engagement? The next morning my phone buzzed with a text from Sarah. "We need to meet. Coffee at our spot. 10 a.m. I arrived at the cozy cafe on Clark Street, the one with the mismatched mugs and the best lattes in town. Sarah was already there, nursing a black coffee, her eyes red-rimmed. "I didn't sleep," she admitted as I sat down. "Mark and I talked all night. He's hurt, confused, but mostly he's worried about me." I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. "Emily, why now? With Dad sick. It's like the world's falling apart." I explained as best I could: the years of suppression, the fear of losing her to marriage, the overwhelming need to be honest. "I thought if I didn't say it I'd regret it forever," I said. "But now I see I've made things worse." Sarah sighed, staring into her cup. "Part of me is flattered, I guess. But I'm straight, Em. I've always been. Mark is my future." Her words stung, but I nodded, forcing a smile. "I understand. I'll back off. Just don't let this ruin us." We parted with an awkward hug, and for a few days, things seemed to settle into an uneasy normalcy. I threw myself into work, designing logos for a new startup, trying to drown out the inner turmoil. But then came the family dinner. Sarah invited me over, insisting it was important for her dad's sake. Mr. Hargrove, frail but determined, wanted to see everyone together. The table was set with his favorite pot roast. The atmosphere forced cheer. As we ate, Sarah's younger sister, Lily, a sharp-tongued college freshman, kept glancing at me suspiciously. Later in the kitchen she cornered me. "I overheard Sarah and Mark arguing about you," she whispered. "What's going on?" I froze, but before I could respond, Mrs. Hargrove entered, her eagle eyes missing nothing. "Everything all right in here?" she asked. We nodded, but the seed of doubt was planted. That night as I drove home, I couldn't shake the feeling that my confession was a Pandora's box, releasing chaos I couldn't control. Little did I know, Sarah was grappling with her own doubts, questions she'd never dared to ask herself. The following week brought a whirlwind of doctor's appointments and family meetings for the Hargroves. I offered to help where I could, picking up prescriptions, bringing meals, but Sarah kept her distance, her texts polite but curt. Mark, too, seemed wary, canceling our usual double dates. I felt like an outsider, banished from the inner circle I'd once called home. At work, my concentration faltered. My boss, a no-nonsense woman named Carla, noticed. "Emily, you've been off your game," she said during our weekly check-in. "Everything okay?" I confided a sanitized version. No names, just that I'd confess feelings to a friend, and it backfired. Carla nodded sympathetically. "Love's a battlefield, kid. But you can't let it tank your career." Her words stuck with me, but the ache persisted. Then came the bombshell. Sarah called me late one evening, her voice trembling. "Em, I need to see you. Now." I met her at a park bench overlooking the Chicago River, the city lights twinkling like distant stars. She looked haunted, her usual poise shattered. "I've been thinking about what you said," she began. "And I don't know. Maybe I'm not as straight as I thought." My heart leaped, but I tamped it down. "What do you mean?" She confessed that my words had stirred something. A curiosity, a what if. "With Dad sick, life's too short for lies," she said. "Mark's great, but is he my everything?" We talked for hours, the conversation veering into uncharted territory. Sarah admitted to past crushes on girls in college, dismissed as phases. "I pushed them down because of my family," she said. "Mom would disown me." I listened, my own emotions a tangle of hope and fear. "What about Mark?" I asked. "He's devastated," she replied. "We fought again last night. He thinks I should cut you out." The idea horrified me. "Don't do that. We can figure this out." But Sarah was torn, her loyalty to her family clashing with this newfound self-doubt. The next day, she broke things off with Mark. He showed up at my door furious. "This is your fault," he accused. "You poisoned her mind." I denied it, but guilt gnawed at me. Had I? Mark stormed off, warning me to stay away. Sarah moved back in with her parents to help with her dad, but the strain showed. Mrs. Hargrove sensed something amiss. "You've been acting strange," she told Sarah one afternoon. "Is it the wedding stress?" Sarah deflected, but the pressure built. Lily, ever the sleuth, pieced it together from overheard conversations. She confronted Sarah in her room. "Are you gay?" "With Emily." Sarah denied it vehemently, but Lily wasn't convinced. "If you are, own it. But don't drag the family through hell." The confrontation escalated, voices rising until Mrs. Hargrove intervened. "What's this about?" she demanded. Sarah, cornered, burst into tears. "It's nothing, Mom. Just stress." But the damage was done. Rumors swirled in their tight-knit community, whispers at church, sidelong glances at the grocery store. Sarah's father, weakened by chemo, overheard and pressed her. "Be honest with me, kiddo," he said from his hospital bed. Sarah confessed partially, saying she was questioning her engagement. Mr. Hargrove, surprisingly supportive, urged her to follow her heart. "Life's too precious for regrets," he said. Emboldened, Sarah reached out to me. We met secretly in a quiet bookstore cafe, away from prying eyes. "I think I feel something for you," she admitted, her hand brushing mine. The touch sent sparks through me, but joy was tempered by reality. What about your family? Society? I asked. Sarah shrugged. We'll deal with it. Our first kiss happened there, tentative and sweet, hidden behind stacks of books. It felt like coming home. But as we left, I spotted Lily across the street, her phone in hand. Had she seen? Paranoia set in. Sarah returned home to find her mother waiting, arms crossed. Lily told me everything. Mrs. Hargrove said coldly. Is it true? Are you with Emily? Sarah froze, the weight of expectation crushing her. Mom, The argument that followed was brutal. Mrs. Hargrove invoked God, family values, the shame it would bring. Your father doesn't need this now, she hissed. Sarah, torn between love and duty, wavered. That night she texted me. I can't do this. It's too much. My world shattered again. Had our brief moment been worth the pain? Rejection hit like a gut punch. I stared at Sarah's text, the words blurring through tears. How could she back away after that kiss, after admitting her feelings? I called her repeatedly, but she didn't answer. Desperate, I drove to her house, parking down the street to avoid detection. Peering through the window, I saw the family gathered, Mrs. Hargrove lecturing, Mr. Hargrove looking frail, Lily smirking. Sarah sat silently, head bowed. I left without knocking, defeat washing over me. Days turned into a blur of isolation. I avoided social media, where mutual friends posted about Sarah's postponed wedding. Whispers reached me through the grapevine, Mark telling tales of betrayal, painting me as the villain. At work, Carla pulled me aside again. Take some time off, she suggested. Clear your head. I did, retreating to a cabin in Wisconsin Dells, seeking solace in nature. But thoughts of Sarah haunted me. Was she okay? Had I pushed too hard? Back in Chicago, Sarah navigated a minefield. Her mother monitored her every move, insisting on counseling with their pastor. This is a phase, Mrs. Hargrove declared. Influenced by that girl. The pastor, a stern man with outdated views, preached about sin and redemption. Sarah attended sessions, nodding along, but inwardly rebelled. It's not a choice, she thought. It's who I am. Lily surprisingly became an ally. Mom's wrong, she whispered one night. If you love Emily, go for it. Encouraged, Sarah sneaked out to meet me upon my return. We rendezvoused at a dimly lit bar in Boys Town, the irony not lost on us. I'm sorry, she said, tears flowing. Mom's pressure is unbearable. We talked strategy, how to come out, face the backlash. Dad supports me, she revealed. But Mom, she'll cut me off. The stakes were high, family inheritance, social standing, even her job at a conservative firm. I shared my own fears, losing friends, professional repercussions in a still judgmental world. But you're worth it, I said. Our relationship deepened in secrecy, stolen moments fueling our bond. A picnic in Grant Park, hands intertwined under a blanket. Whispered phone calls late at night. But secrets breed paranoia. Mark, still bitter, started digging. He contacted mutual acquaintances, spreading rumors. One evening, he confronted Sarah at a coffee shop. You're throwing your life away, he snarled. For her? Sarah stood her ground. It's over, Mark. Move on. But he didn't. He went to Mrs. Hargrove, revealing everything. The fallout was swift. Mrs. Hargrove disinvited me from family events, called my parents, whom I'd never come out to. My mom, a devout Catholic from the suburbs, was horrified. Emily, this isn't you, she pleaded over the phone. Think of your future. Dad was silent, disappointed. The rejection stung, echoing Sarah's struggles. Society's judgment amplified, stares from neighbors, online trolls when a photo leaked. Sarah's firm demoted her subtly, citing distractions. The pressure mounted, testing our resolve. One night, during a heated argument, Sarah snapped. Maybe we should end this, she said. The cost is too high. I begged her to reconsider. We've come this far. But doubt crept in. Was love worth the destruction? The turning point came with Mr. Hargrove's worsening condition. Hospitalized, he summoned the family. I want peace, he rasped. No more fighting. Sarah by his side confessed fully. Dad, I'm in love with Emily. To everyone's shock he smiled. Then be happy, sweetheart. Life's short. Mrs. Hargrove stormed out, but his words lingered. Emboldened, Sarah confronted her mother. This is me. Accept it or not. The ultimatum hung heavy. Mrs. Hargrove, torn between faith and love for her daughter, sought counseling herself. Slowly, cracks appeared in her armor. I don't understand, she admitted one day. But I don't want to lose you. Reconciliation was tentative, family dinners awkward. Lily bridged gaps, sharing articles on LGBTQ+ acceptance. Mark meanwhile escalated. Bitter, he leaked private emails to Sarah's workplace, framing our relationship as scandalous. The firm, fearing backlash from clients, put Sarah on leave. This is retaliation, she fumed. We lawyered up, fighting back. The battle drained us, legal fees, emotional toll. Friends divided. Some supported, others distanced. My parents visited, strained but trying. We love you, Mom said haltingly. But it's hard. Progress was slow, marked by small victories. A pride event we attended together. Hands held publicly for the first time. But betrayal lurked. Lily, under pressure from peers, accidentally outed us on social media. The post went viral in our small circle, amplifying scrutiny. Sarah's firm fired her outright, citing conduct unbecoming. Devastated, she blamed Lily. How could you? The sisters' bond fractured, arguments echoing through the house. Mr. Hargrove, witnessing the chaos, deteriorated faster. This is my fault, Sarah whispered at his bedside. No, he replied. It's society's. His passing hit like a tidal wave. The funeral was tense, divisions palpable. Mrs. Hargrove, grieving, lashed out at me. You caused this stress. Sarah defended me fiercely. No, Mom. Intolerance did. The eulogy became a flashpoint, Sarah speaking of love in all forms, subtly honoring her truth. Whispers rippled through the congregation. Afterward, we escaped to my apartment, exhaustion setting in. Is it worth it? Sarah asked, echoing my earlier doubts. Yes, I affirmed. But the price was steep. Lost jobs, strained families, shattered trust. In the aftermath, Sarah job hunted furiously, facing bias in interviews. Your personal life shouldn't matter, one recruiter said, but it did. I supported her financially, straining my savings. Our relationship, forged in fire, strengthened. We moved in together, a small act of defiance. But external pressures persisted. Community backlash, vandalized car, hateful mail. We reported it, but police dismissed it as pranks. Friends like Carla rallied, organizing support groups. You're not alone, she said. My parents thawed, inviting us for dinner. Awkward, but a start. Mrs. Hargrove, isolated in her grief, reached out tentatively. I miss my daughter, she told me over coffee. Help me understand. We talked for hours, bridging gaps. Lily apologized profusely, vowing to make amends. I was scared, she admitted. Reconciliation mended some wounds, but scars remained. Mark, unrepentant, sued for emotional distress, a frivolous claim dismissed but draining. The ordeal highlighted moral ambiguities. Who was right? Sarah's choice to pursue love, or family's right to tradition? My confession, selfish or brave? Society's judgment, fair or oppressive? As we navigated, awakenings dawned. Sarah volunteered at LGBTQ+ centers, advocating for others. I designed pro-equality campaigns, channeling pain into purpose. But tension simmered. One night, Sarah received an anonymous threat, back off or else. Fear gripped us. Maybe we should move, I suggested. To New York, a fresh start. The decision weighed heavy, leaving roots, families. It's a sacrifice, Sarah said. But for us. Packing boxes, we reflected on the journey, from confession to chaos, betrayal to bonding. The road ahead uncertain, but together. File 6. Settling in Brooklyn brought relief. Diverse neighborhoods, accepting vibes. Sarah landed a job at a progressive nonprofit, thriving. I freelance, creativity flowing. Families visited sporadically, bonds healing slowly. Mrs. Hargrove joined a support group, evolving. Lillian turned with us, making up for past mistakes. Mark faded into irrelevance, his bitterness isolating him. But reflections lingered. Had our love justified the pain inflicted? The families torn, careers derailed. A father's final days marred? We debated late nights, weighing ethics. Love conquers, Sarah argued. But at what cost? I pondered. Society shifted incrementally. Laws changing, attitudes softening. Yet personal battles raged. Our story, one of many, sparked conversations among friends. Was it right? They'd ask. We left it open, knowing truth's complexity. In the end, as we walked hand in hand through Central Park, leaves crunching underfoot, I realized growth came from the struggle. But the question remained. When love demands such sacrifice, is the pursuit noble or destructive?